Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are zooming in and we are focusing in on a behavioral style or trait of the covert narcissist. And that is really sort of when there's the narcissistic rage, the angry indignation that they will launch into an attack unto undeserving others. Now, the indignation is really seated in the recesses of the narcissist. And oftentimes, just having someone around is basically serving as a receptacle for that attack. So when we see the hostile, angry indignation, basically the negative assessment or irritant or trigger of another in the environment, oftentimes it has nothing to do with the other individual when the narcissist is going on attack, or they are going on a rage, or they are set to attack somebody. The angry indignation oftentimes has everything to do with the mishaps and situations and irritants that are going on within that individual and has nothing to do with you. You basically happen to be quote unquote there. You happen to be in the way. There is nothing that you did to provoke it. There's nothing that you did wrong. It has everything to do with the emotional uncomfortability of the narcissist. Now, when they launch into an attack, oftentimes it is not just based on ownership that they are feeling angry. So they're not going to come out and say, I can't believe this happened. I feel so angry about this. You're never going to believe this. What do you think about this? Oh my gosh, can you believe that this happened? What should we do? There's no sort of consensus when they launch into an anger. They are not taking accountability and ownership for their own emotions. They are basically going to feel slighted. They're going to feel perturbed. They're going to feel indignation for others around them and just basically put the blame on others as a source of their anger. And usually most people, unassumingly, then buy into the receiving of that negative message. So they're very oftentimes feel, especially when they're around it consistently, that they had provoked this anger, that they have something to do with the anger and hostility, and that there's something wrong with you, and then why can't you fix them? Why can't you fix the relationship? Why is this not a happy thing? What did I do to set all this off? And oftentimes people feel that they have set the narcissist off when they launch into this attack on you. Because if you are being attacked through angry indignation, basically, which means when someone is treating you as unworthy, inherently flawed, or there's something wrong with you, how can you not feel that there, must be something wrong with you because this person says so? And we tend to take this negative assessment at face value and just basically not question it and say, you're right, must be something wrong for me to receive this magnitude of an attack. And oftentimes the narcissist, because they launch into these indignation attacks or making people feel on trial, and really scrutinized, criticized, condemned, they will basically feel that they feel very powerless. And so people oftentimes basically feel that they're going to give up or give in to the attacks of the narcissist. But really what is so malignant and what is so pathological is that it's very extreme. The hostility oftentimes has an energy to it, which is very destructive, very hot. You talk about the hot-tempered individual, the person who flares up, the person who launches, or lashes out at you. You get the sneer, you get the narcissistic glare, the looks that could kill, the looks that can maim. We see this as a defense mechanism from the narcissist. Now realize that this is a tool that they will use to protect themselves. To protect themselves from the feelings that they are feeling inside and their ability to face the reality, face how they feel. But because they have really a very bottom baseline feeling of inferiority, they take refuge, they take solace, they feel better when they're able to launch off and release this negativity and attack onto others. And this indignation is also portrayed when they will rebuff others. And this is a very interesting word too, because it's really to act as if you are going to snub somebody or reject them. And so oftentimes people feel very rejected by the malignant or the covert narcissist. To rebuff somebody basically means to cut you short, to cut you off, to not listen to you, to not have empathy. And to rebuff means to reject someone or something in an abrupt or ungracious manner. So oftentimes people feel that they are never appreciated, validated, or enjoyed from the narcissist. So you oftentimes feel like a lot of people, and we had a viewer who made a very a very astute comment, feeling that she felt like an orphan in her own family. I mean, that's a pretty profound statement, and I think that speaks to the feeling of indignation and being snubbed off. Basically, you can be the recipient of these attacks just because you have emotion and because you have emotional intelligence, and you see maybe an injustice and you're attuned to it, you're aware, you're sensitive. This is sufficient for you to get launched into an attack. I mean, just by being yourself or growing as a person or having certain qualities or interests, being your own person, this you are subject to oftentimes just because of this very human nature, human growth. You are perceived as a threat to this individual's feeling of superiority. They can't feel really truly themselves. They can't be with their true feelings in the presence of you or with other people who cause this feeling of them kind of bottoming out or feeling their true feelings. So they have to launch this facade in this projection of that they have to be superior, and then they will rebuff others, which means to reject, basically. And if we are again looking at the root word of rebuff in Italian, and then buffo, it has its root in Italian, rebuffo, and rebuffo is like a gust, a puff. So I think that's very interesting when you will often feel this gust of anger or a gust of hostility. And I think it's very interesting to correlate the verb with the origin, and really its origin and really the nationality of where it is, just to look at that. And because I think it helps you to understand the origin of it. And so if you see that and, you feel like they don't have gratitude, they, oftentimes the narcissist, because they don't have and operate from that empathy, that gratitude, that contentment, that feeling of oneness or equality, they are not always on that. They're not on that wavelength. They're not always going to give you the gratitude, the thank you. They're not going to give you the respect. They're going to give you the indignation. They're going to give you the rebuff. They're going to give you the disdain, which is a feeling that someone or something is unworthy or unworthy of one's consideration of respect, to have contempt for somebody. So you can be an object of contempt, and you have done nothing to deserve that. You will be treated as an object of contempt when you have done nothing to provoke it. It's just how they lash out. It's a defense mechanism for them to feel superior by pushing you and other people down to help maintain that feeling of superiority that they need in their family dynamic, their social dynamic, their social set. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. And please donate if you wish.